of FluentPro Software Corporation. He's a Microsoft Project Server 2010 and 2013 architect, MCTS project and portfolio manager, and an IT entrepreneur. Today, we're talking about the project online data visualization with FluentPro EPM Pulse for PMO and executives. Take it away, Anton.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, again, my name is Anton. I'm from FluentPro Software, and today, during this presentation, I will show how to visualize data in Microsoft Project Online and Project Server with help of our product EPM Pulse, and why we believe it's very good option for data visualization. First of all, thank you for all these partners, all the sponsors of this conference. We try to make our contribution as well here, and very quick promise for this session. It will be just a very little bit of marketing, so it will be very little of that, and I will try to make it as short as possible, and so there's a time for questions and answers at the end. And feel free to post your questions during the chat, and I will answer all those questions at the end. So very quick background. FluentPro is a company based in state of Washington. We are based in Redmond. We are Microsoft Gold certified partner. We focus on the Microsoft Project Server and Project Online. We work with Project Server platform since 2009. You probably familiar with our company because of several other tools that we have. We have quite a big set of tools for migration and configuration management of Microsoft Project Server and Project Online called FluentBooks, and you can read more about those tools on our website. But today, what we will show is really our approach to data visualization for Project Server and Project Online, and we believe it's slightly different from standard stack of the tool, and I will show why. So, very good question. Is the right session for you? If you will answer yes to any of these questions, I believe it will be, you will spend your time, with, you will find some new information. So if you need beautiful dashboards and you want to make your executive happy so they can find the information they need when they need, instantly, definitely you'll learn how to do that. If you're tired of working with developers to build, old-looking dashboards and reports, definitely you will see some new dashboards, and you will see how this can be built using our products. And general approach for that. If you'd like to see how the other companies visualize portfolios and projects and what kind of information they display, it's also you will find some new information here. And as well, if you would like to learn about some challenges, we'll show some of those in our presentation as well. Okay, next slide. So our journey with BI or reporting. As company, we started in 2009, but as a team we worked since pretty much 2000 here, and we were doing a lot of the development. We built reports since 2002, and the Project Server reports since 2010. As company, we did over 100 Project Server implementations, and pretty much all of those implementations that had some reports and dashboards built 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 dashboards for every and reports for every implementation. In total, a couple years ago, we calculated how many dashboards and reports we built. It was close to 600 reports, and after that, we continued building those reports and dashboards. At the peak time, we had several full-time BI developers who build dashboards using the Excel services, SSRS, performance point, so all the pretty much standard stack, Microsoft BI stack. And very kind of like small statistics. On average, it took us about between the 12 to 16 hours to build a report, and 24 to 40 hours to build a dashboard, nice looking, or as we saw, the nice looking dashboards. And we're here kind of like to say, yes, we are guilty. We build those dashboards, and they're old style, they're old looking dashboards that were built using the SSRS. I wouldn't use the word ugly, but they're not the up-to-date, not the modern, and you've probably seen such dashboard everywhere. And I'm sure that with your reporting sets that you have right now, you will see such reports. And a sample, last time we built, for example, those three dashboards. It will take more than a week to develop such, couple dashboards reports with planning, with some coloring, making them look nice. There would be, tens of email conversation about the, change the color, change the font, layout, change some layouts, and all those changes that take an hour. So the process of building really the dashboards and reports, it still takes a lot of time. And we are strong with on building the different using the Microsoft BI stack, SQL Server reporting services, and Excel services, using the Power Pivot, Power Query, Power BI, all those tools. And they work. Some of them are really very techy, for example, as SSRS. In most cases, you and users can use the report builder, but you end up, if something more complicated, you end up using Visual Studio, and it means that you need to have skills. And same, if one of the dashboards and reports requires that you get the data from several data sources, or you do some complex data model, or join more than 2 or 3 tables, uh, it gets complicated, and you really ending up using the BI developer, report developer consultants who will build those reports. And we did as a company, it was part of our business to build such reports and provide such services. So after doing that for years, uh, we thought it takes too much time. It requires very technical skills, and it's definitely there should be some better way to do things, because something is wrong how the data can be visualized for the project server, especially for the project server, where the users who use the project server and use the reports, they're really the project managers, PMOs, executives. They need to consume information. They don't have time to, and it's waste of their time to build reports. So what we thought is, okay, let's take a look on our companies. What kind of companies and customers we had. So I would say we found that there are pretty much 4 types of usage of project server, or we can say that it's maturity of the company. But there are probably one sort of companies who really use the project server for task management, very light project management and progress tracking for their projects. There are some companies who start working more with not just the time, task tracking, but they add some resource management, resource forecasting. They start working with resource plans. There are about the sort of the companies who are quite advanced, and they have the full-scale PMO, where they do everything that the small companies do, but also they add the portfolio analysis. They use the resource management or forecasting more extensively. They have workflow, so they have complicated and sophisticated implementations. And also there are some very small percentage of the companies that usually use Project Server or Project Online for only one reason, for really the portfolio management and prioritization, where they have very little of the schedules or no schedules. And in most cases, it might be even that the really portfolio managers use this solution. But what we after working with the customers and building dashboards, what we identified, and that their needs are pretty much the same. So everyone is looking for dashboard needs to be beautiful. They want to have both dashboards and reports. They need to be contemporary, nice colors, soft colors. They need to be, all the dashboard needs to be on demand. They need to be, users want to have the very easy access to those dashboards. They want to be able to run those dashboards on and reports to see them on different devices. Also, one two very important aspects are that companies are not ready, or not ready to spend too much time and spend too much money for building those dashboards. When we see a customer that spends the tens of $1,000s for building dashboards and reports, or spends weeks or months for building their dashboard, first of all, companies are not happy about that, and secondly, when you build the custom reports, it means that you work with developers, you have quite a big cycle here. And also, since the reports are built, if you need to make some change or tweaks, for example, you see you have a dashboard built, and for example, you need to change some filter, or you need to very quickly change the layout, change the three charts that you have in your dashboard, change their position. You will have to go to developer again, and it will take time. It will cost you money, and it will be done, maybe immediately if you have developer in house, or that will be done in several days when the consultant or developer is available. Again, all those categorizations and needs we identified during our discussions with and sessions with the customers. So in our organization as well, for the reporting, there are really four groups who uh, consumes information: executives, PMO, and portfolio managers and project managers. And they all have slightly different needs for the reporting. So executives really, they want to have the very high level view of what's going on in organization, and they would like to see information overall for the organization, maybe divided by departments. They want to really to see focus on things that are going wrong and see some metrics and KPI. If they need, all the executives want to have ability to drill down. So if, for example, if I see the project on my portfolio dashboard that somehow highlighted red, I would like to be able to drill down and see why it's red. PMO has very similar needs as the executives, but same time different. So the PMO, in most cases, they need to see the high-level picture, but also they need to be able to see all their portfolios in greater details. The PMO needs to make sure that the project management process, that they're following the kind of like health metrics, and there is a possibility to do a health check for their project, to make sure that the project management practices in organizations, they met, and project managers follow the rules set defined and policy defined by the PMO. Portfolio managers, again, similar to executives and PMO, but they're really focused on the small subset of the data, or it can be big subset of the data. It can be one or multiple portfolios. And as you know, the portfolio is just group of projects, defined group by some of the criteria that commit. Again, high level picture. I'm focused just on my portfolio, not on the entire organization. And since it's more portfolio, project manager role, I will need to be able to see that information in more details and drill down and see more information about my projects. And as a project manager, I want to make sure that I can present progress of my project, that I do that with very little time, so I can run my status reports, preferably in one click. I can see my dashboards. I can generate my project charter, some other reports, see my information about my resources, and if needed, like for example for the project, I want to be able to drill down to resource and see resource information. And what is really common about all the dashboards that we found, that it's really that if you're talking about all those dashboards, we are talking about the milestones, we're talking about the tasks, we're talking about the variances, we are talking about planned efforts, actual or planned cost, and the versus actual. We're talking about comparing our baseline with the latest known estimates of planned work. We're talking about the risk issues. health check, portfolio health check, SPI, CPI, forecast of the project completion, costs, percent of the project completed on time and or tasks completed on time. And if you see, it's not really data, it's really project management concepts. It's all about project management. If the user, what we found that our customers, they really don't care where the data is stored, or they have no time and they have really don't have no interest to define like how where the baseline stored, or how the baseline. They want to see what is the baseline cost for my project, and what is the latest known cost, estimated cost, and what is the actual cost. It's really they don't need to know where the data is stored to how. So they need the end result. And we tried to build a system that really works with the with such concepts. So very simple scenario. So you've seen the reports that we built and dashboards that we built before, on about like 5 slides ago. So quick question to the audience. How long do you think it took to build? There are two dashboards. For example, one of these dashboards. You can write that to the group chat on the window, and fill the first three users that will write the closest time. They'll get some free licenses for EPM Pulse, 1 year subscription for EPM Pulse. I'll give you like 30 seconds. Okay, we can move forward. So it's really 15 minutes. You can build as project manager without technical skills, using and really why I will explain in demo and the next slide. So what is the EPM Pulse? It's a tool that is designed for executives, portfolio managers, and for project managers. We built this tool not for BI developers or report developers. They can use it and they can build those dashboards, but really we built a tool that everyone, the project managers, can use, and the project managers use this tool to build their dashboards. Our biggest differentiator from all the existing tools is that we operate with a project management concept, like again, forecast of my project, variances, and not really the raw data. We interested in the end representation of the object and not really the raw data. How we do that is we built a huge library of small components. We call them widgets, and users use those widgets to build the dashboard. So widgets allow users to be abstract of how the data is stored. If I want a dashboard, I really just select the information that I want to see on the dashboard and just add those components. We have storyboards, so it's a way to create stories about your portfolios and projects, or for example, different stories for your departments or organizational units. It's a package of dashboards that you can present and that your users can use. And huge differentiator is that again, it takes 15 minutes to build a dashboard. It's minutes. We have a video on the YouTube where I show how to build the status report in 8 minutes. It's complete status report with multi-line text, with everything, and it's immediately available for the use for the generation. And if it took me 8 minutes to build it from the scratch, if I need to make some change, it will be again a couple minutes to make the change to layout of my dashboard. EPM Pulse right now, it's available for Project Server 2010, 2013, and Project Online. And just with Project Online, we have over 300 customers using the product. So now it's time to see more dashboards, and I will switch to Internet Explorer, and we'll show some nice dashboard and how this can be built. So you can see that it's really easy. We'll start on the screen. You see the storyboards. It's a list of storyboards that we kind of create and that users will create. And if I click on the executive summary storyboard, I will see here kind of like the small navigation panel where I have the timeline and I have a list of my dashboards that are within the storyboard. So the concept of the storyboard, it's a combination of dashboards that you can and reports that you can add to the storyboard, and they will show this small subset of information for subset of projects or resources. And I really can combine here. EPM Pulse can build a portfolio level dashboard, project level dashboards, a resource kind of like team dashboard and single resource dashboard, and you can combine in one storyboard any kind of dashboards. Very simple. Right now I created several categories. We call those categories, we call those views. So I have like right now the planet project. I see, there are 2 projects completed, only 1 project completed on time. I see, some projects in progress, some project not start completed. What I can do, I can pop up my screen and see details for my projects. If I need to, as an executive, I say, okay, I know that I'm tracking one project, for example, this project, it says it's 32% complete. As an executive, I might say, okay, why it's only 32% complete? I would like to check the status for that project. I click here, and I will be drilled down to my project where I see all the details. It's kind of like I see late task, I see upcoming task for 30 days. I was like, okay, no upcoming task, but there are huge number of late tasks. Something is definitely wrong with my project. And also I can start asking the question to project manager why everything is green when I have all the late tasks, and it's project kind of like running late. I can see for example, on the same dashboard, I see my team utilization, and I can drill down if I need to. I can drill down to my resource dashboard for the sales director. I can see that again, set information. I can say, okay, what's the information for my sales director for the current month? I see, well, he's definitely over allocated. So I can identify that information immediately with 3 clicks of the mouse. Same time, I can switch back. I can go back and see, projects in progress, or I can see some statistics for my completed projects. So let's say, okay, we completed 11 projects, and only 10 projects were completed on time. We can see, projects by status, and it like is a kind of like all completed. I can click on the dashboard that will show the late projects, and I will see, okay, there are so many projects that are late because of the duration variance, or projects. There are some projects that are over the budget work, and I can see here details, or I can do the same, see the same dashboard for just completed projects. Okay, again, one project with duration variance, one project, there are 3 projects with budget, that are running above the budget work baseline, I would say. As executive, I have also ability, to see more details about my portfolio. For example, I can see my resource utilization for my project. I can see, highlighted timeline view for my project. I can see issues and risks if there are any. Or again, I can switch to resource view and see information about my resources. I see the heat map, and I can say, okay, it's weekly view. I will say, okay, I would like to see information for the current quarter. It will automatically be updated, and I will see all that information. Again, I can drill down. I can see all that information. I can see for some information now, I can see it on big screen. Very nice interface. So you can make it visible for full screen, or you can export dashboards. You can export dashboard to the PDF or PNG. So it's really kind of like experience for the executive. And executives, what they want, they can always land on this page, as they can see that their dashboards and be always updated on what's going on. Next, for example, I will change a hat, and for example, I will become a PMO manager. And for example, I'm a PMO manager, and I would like to, I will overlook entire company. So I see here, for example, list of my completed projects, or I can start tracking, more financial information. For example, I see what is the budget, baseline cost here. What is the actual cost? What is the average cost for this project? I can see some cost information. I can see cost distribution over time. Again, I can switch to the narrow down my project information, my dates, and I can see the weekly information for my planned cost, or I can see some again projects with all the information, and I can define the different drill downs. For example, if I click here on my project, I will have some financial status report for my financial. So yeah, pretty much like project completed, in running late or in progress. Uh, we do the same, just for example, from the work standpoint or efforts, and see similar information, not for the cost, but just for the work, or see, I can create a dashboard or a view that will show the details about the specific project. So I have a list of my critical projects that I need to very closely monitor, and I can create a dashboard and add that view to the dashboard, so I can really see single project dashboards built into my storyboard. So I don't need to look for the project. I don't need to kind of like filter the data every time when I go, or save those filters to dashboards. It's all dynamic. I built a dashboard and I can use it for different departments. If I can use it for different groups of the people, I can use it for different groups of projects or portfolio. So it's all very very dynamic and very easily configurable. I see my statuses. I see my costs. I see open issues. I see burn down chart for my task, work distribution. Again, as a PMO, I might want to see some utilization for my resources, or the heat map. I can switch to, for example, to see my generic resources if I'm planning, if I'm using the generic resource. And again, like all you can drill down, you can see all the details. Pretty much. Flexible here. As well, what we have is we have a set of components with those widgets that do the health check of your projects. Instead of buying the apps for project professional, or buying the apps that kind of like do just all that they just show you some health checks. We build those widgets here. So what you have, okay, I have task assignment, that I can identify issues. For example, I have tasks that have no assignment. I have tasks with assigned to the local resource. I can have milestones with assignment, and see where they're assigned to. I can see summary task with assignment, high duration task, if there are, wow, it's definitely something wrong with this task if it has a duration of 500 hours. Probably my project managers do something wrong when they create a breakdown structure. There should be no such task of the 500 hours. I can see if my projects are missing baselines, if there is like negative slacks, if there are projects that are with actual start like in the future, or tasks without deadlines. So all the standard PMI recommended metrics for the health check, like status date, baselines, risk issues. So all checks here. As an executive, I will see the high-level picture. As the PMO manager, I can see more details about my projects. I see more details on the dashboards, and I can do the health check, not leaving the screens, not leaving information, not switching to any other application. I can get a health feeling of my health check of my portfolios. Same if I switch to, for example, to IT PMO, and like PMO was kind of like for entire company. If I switch to IT PMO, all that I want to see my projects for the IT department. I see, okay, it's like I see 4 projects that are related to infrastructure. I see 1 project that relate to operations. I see project by investment type. I see projects that are how they're related to application. For example, I have custom fields called application name and application portfolio. And for example, if there are 1 CRM project, 1 ERP project, 1 security, and 2 projects about virtualization. I see, forecast for my, when projects are planned to start and plan to compete. And again, I see, reg metrics here where I see my projects with their statuses. Okay, something wrong with resources, I can click and drill down to my dashboard and see information for that specific project. Okay, something wrong with resources, and I can yeah, there's no team here, but you get the idea that you can drill down between the data. Same as the IT manager, I want to see same information, but just for my from the cost standpoint. I can see cost distribution. I can see charts that will show the which project eats most of the cost of my budget portfolio. I can see cumulative cost S curve for my costs here for the baseline for actual for planned work. I can see a very simple stat dashboard where I see like overall status, just simply a list of my projects with their statuses. Or I can, again, I can switch to my critical projects, or projects that I'm really, keeping a close track of. I can list them here, and I can very quickly switch and make sure that that they are updated and there are no issues on those projects. Again, I can do the health check as before. And as next step, well, very simple. I can, if I get ahead of the project manager, let's say I'm working in the marketing department, and I will show here my marketing projects. So I'm a project manager in marketing department. I can see, for example, all the project. I will be able to see those projects here. And that's kind of like a standard dashboard. I see project description, project status summary, action plan, some statuses, S-curve, late task, project milestones, if it's completed or not, with the task for next 30 days. Really the, operational dashboard for project managers to make sure to track their product. And since all this information it comes from project server, is stored on the custom field, we can display it here. All the information that you have in project server, project online, we will be able to display. And again, it requires this all these dashboards they built without any writing any single line of code. Again, project tracking, more detailed information, or just some kind of like slightly different representation. And again, I can do the health check for one of my projects. So I click on the project, and I will do the health check. Again, milestones without assignment. If there are any issues on the milestones, if there are missing baselines, summary task with assignments, high duration tasks, low duration tasks, task with blank name, negative slack, and if there are any issues or risk. We have several customers who requires that every project has at least 5 risks defined, and you can use this dashboard to identify if your project's really tracking all the risk on it. Or if you need to have some printable information, you can build a project charter report here, and it will be, again, it's one click of mouse and it's generated. So it's kind of like all the presentation and all how the dashboard was kind of the dashboards that you can build. And right now, let's take a look how I build those dashboards. So I click on the dashboard designer here. I have a couple options to switch, so I can go here to selections, click to the dashboard designer, and I will get to the area where I will build my dashboard. So I see all the dashboards that I built, and let's say I want to build new portfolio dashboard. I click create new. I select my view. For example, let's say it will be our business projects. I click select all. I click apply. And magic starts here. So when I click add widget, what you get here is you get access to those it's close to 400 widgets that you can use. So let's start with some pre-built. So what I would like to see, I would like to see project and portfolio timeline. I would like to see some, couple metrics. I would like to see project by state. I would like to see, let's say, I would like to see cost distribution of my project, and I would like to see, for example, financial summary. I would like to see, let's say, late tasks and missed milestones. And for resources, I would like to see, let's say, a list of top or allocated resources from my group of project. Risk and issues, I can see, for example, a risk matrix here. I'm pretty much done, so I can click apply. And in fact, my dashboard is already built. So all that I have to do as a project manager, as a user who built the dashboard, just make sure that it looks nice. So I can say, okay, please resize my dashboard. Let's make it bigger. I will say, okay, let's move it here. Let's move it here. Financial summary. I made it here, and I will move the timeline somewhere. I will move the timeline somewhere here, and I will make my metrics. And in metrics, I can go and very quickly change. Okay, I'd like to show actual cost. Okay, fine. But what I would like to do is I would say, okay, I would like to make it red, and I would like to make it, let's say 22. And I will say, okay, shape, I would like to show that, that information is a rectangle. And I'll say, okay, yeah, I don't want to show tile, or I can show tile. So I can show that the tile shows the tile on the left. So it's kind of like an metric. I can go here and select my metric. For example, average percent, average percent complete for my portfolio. So it's quite a big set of metrics here that we pre-built already, that already immediately ready for use for the project manager. Portfolio cost. So what I can do here, say, okay, yeah, I have my project by cost. I have portfolio cost here chart. I will make it. Let's say I will make it bigger. I will just put here. Again, I can see it here on the big screen. See my all my details here. Project and portfolio. Let's say it's my timeline, and I would say, yeah, the timeline is probably too many colors here on the page. I don't want really to show that information in the timeline. I want to show that as a grid. As we click here and say list, it immediately switches to list view, where I can see list of my projects with all the information. And for every project, I can define the drill down. So if I click on the project, I can enter the URL of the different dashboard. It will do. If I have the list of resources, I can define the list of issues, risks, and we have, like, you can really drill down to PWA. You can drill down to project site. You can drill down to another dashboard to show all that information, all very easily configurable, very easy to do. We have some in addition to like all the pre-built dashboards, widgets that we have here, like all the task, list of the task, upcoming tasks, summary task, milestones. You can get any information from the SharePoint. So, for example, what I can do here is I have some project site lists. So I go here and say I go here and write the OData query. I say risks. And what the system will do, it will get right now all the reads from all the project side, and it will display it here. And I can write the other query with a filter with everything that will display all those issues, all those risks here in my grid. And I can define formatting. I can define the headers. It's really standard, and that means that if you have any third party, any custom list on your project site, you can do that. For example, change request, action items, decisions log, or even documents. You can display them here on the project site. And it's like, again, just list here the query list of the fields, or just entire list, and it's all done. We have, in addition to standard widgets that pre-built, I would say, our customers were asking us, guys, perfectly. Your standard widgets cover 98% of our needs. But you show the list of projects, but you would like to show that in slightly different columns or order of the columns. They say, fine, you can use what we pre-built that is ready to use, or you can build a custom table. So I click here and to see very simple information. So I say portfolio follow name, and say actual start start date. And I'll say, okay, it's all text, and the date I want to be date. Done. I have list of my project, I have my portfolio, I have actual dates, and I'll say, okay, looks good. What I would like to do, I would like to do the grouping by portfolio. done. I have grouping by portfolio, and I have all the information. Another widget that what I can do is even more powerful. Let's say that it's metric by category, pie chart, and it's very good one. So what we can do here, we'll say, okay, show me the plant cost and, for example, count. Let's not use a count, let's use a sum by same portfolio. Okay. I get my cost here. Instead of plant cost or exam sum, I can say, okay, average. Or I can, I can switch, say, yeah, I don't want this to be pie chart, I want to be the horizontal bars. And I can see, for example, let's do not the plant cost, let's do person complete. And what I can do here is, it really doesn't matter here. For example, we'll say, let's say that it will be max. And instead of portfolio, I will use project name. Project name will show all my projects with their percent completes. So it's really, in addition to like standard widgets that with pre-built fields with pre-built visualization, we provide those tools that you can really, again, you here, like we slide talking about some data, but still we made it very easy, so you really don't care how it's stored. You know that you want to, I want to see my project cost by project department and grouped by, grouped by project department. You get it. You have a SAP cost, column the SAP cost. I want you want to show that. Please, you can do the metrics, you can do the indicators, you can see some task information. As part of the FluentPro PMO, what we provide all the users is also provide the trending widgets. Every time when we synchronize data, we take a snapshot of all your data. So you can really build all the trending charts and add them to the drawer. How my value of specific field change, how my project cost changed over the time, how my number of the tasks changed over the time. All that information, how the status, some overall status changed over the time for my projects. It's all part of the standard package that is available immediately out of the box. In addition, what you can do is, again, as I told, you can build the project level dashboards. They're really focused about project information. Again, we have pretty similar set of widgets. Here for project level dashboards. It's just just more information, just list of the different tasks. You have risk and issue, risk matches for the single project, health checks widgets, or some statistical widgets where you can see all the variance analysis, all that stuff. And if, for example, resource dashboards, again, like heat maps, utilization, tasks, project tasks, assignments, all that around the users. What we support as well, which is pretty powerful, as I mentioned, you can integrate any SharePoint data from single project, from another site, from the PWA if you have some list, and as well we support the embedding of the SSRS reports. So you can upload some SSRS reports and see them in EPM files. But our general experience, what the users found, that users for 90 our standard widgets that we built, they cover the needs of the project management and executives for their 98%. If they need to make some tweaks or advanced customizations, that they can use those ad hoc widgets, and those cover pretty much all their needs. And again, application is available for all the projects or platform except the 2007. It is available. It comes with support, so you can always ask questions here for the users, and will get answers. And we also support so-called the content pack management, which we saw these very similar names in Power BI announced today, that you can install. But what we built is we have a sample packages of dashboards that we distribute for free. It's kind of like sample dashboard, sample storyboard. So when you install the application, you can get some free set of the standard dashboards that we built, and you can install and get started immediately with any of the dashboard. And again, if I need to change, if I don't like something, if I go here and say, guys, everything is nice, but I don't, we don't do the baselines. I go here and click delete, gone. I go here and I just reposition my dashboard and save. Imagine that you will write email to developer, you will ask them to delete that, you will need to instruct them that please layout, save them, publish the dashboard. It will take hours, and here it's 1 minute. It's done. It's saved. It's already published. It's already available for the use. Okay, I'm switching back to my presentation. So as summary, based on our experience, if you are technically skilled, if you have IT resources, if you have developers, if you need the very 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 specific look and feel of your dashboards, consider Microsoft BI stack, build those dashboards using SSRS or Power BI, where you can build very specific information. But please get designer time. Designers are not that expensive compared to the BI developer. Please get designer, and please ask designer to work with your developer to create nice soft colors and great presentation of dashboard. When you use designers, your dashboards and reports will rock compared to what just the developers do. If you need the like agility, and you need ability to create like dashboards quickly and adjust them, and you don't have huge budgets and technical skills, EPM Pulse is very valid options. And we have, as I mentioned, we have over 300 customers on Project Online that use the software. Some customers are quite a big customers, and they have the unlimited license with unlimited number of users. And the product is not, it's absolutely not expensive. It's like it starts from the $60 per month for 10 users package. Very affordable, and it goes when you go to like unlimited version, it's only $600 per month for unlimited number of users. We have 1 month trial, so feel free to install the app. And product, as I mentioned, products available for 2010, 2013, and Project Online. Any questions?
We do have one question from Naga. She asked, with Microsoft investing so much in Power BI, how does the solution compare?
So we still believe that with Power BI, you still need skills. You still need technical expertise. Again, the Power BI is a great option, but not many project managers will be able to design their dashboard with Power BI. You still need to have a designer. You still need to have technical skills. EPM Pulse, and it's a more end user approach. And again, it's not about the data. It's about the project manager concept. We give those dashboards, and still you can create dashboards way more faster compared to Power BI. In addition, what we will do is we're expecting to some features from the Power BI that the Power BI can be integrated to other places. And we'll definitely, right now we support SSRS and in EPM Pulse, and we expect that we'll be able to create dashboards where you will be able to integrate data from Power BI into the EPM Pulse. So you can really get, right now you are getting both benefits from the both worlds. You can build the EPM Pulse and get any data from pretty much any data sources, integrate SSRS reports, and we expect that you will be able to do that with the Power BI. You'll be able to build in Power BI dashboard into the EPM Pulse and use it in conjunction with native Power EPM Pulse dashboards.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you, Anton.
Yeah.
And thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.